If you believe you can move the highest mountain, cross the greatest oceans, na 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 na. Believe. I hope the YouTube algorithm will just not censor this video. Because I was once censored talking about, I don't know, was I talking about diabetes or something? I mentioned the word and they were like, no, that's not appropriate. Thank God I had not deleted my videos. The video that I had uploaded, thank God I had not deleted that video, because I don't know where I could have gotten that file, because YouTube is just, I don't know, I don't understand their guidelines. Together with TikTok. You just can't, you can say something and like, and you see, but okay, this will be a copyright thing. You not be a censorship thing. I have once received a censorship. Like I have violated the community guidelines. By talking about, I think I was talking about diabetes something. Okay. Let me not go further with that matter, because the AI might pick that and the rest will be history. Now I have 2 attempts. If they give me 2 other I'll be in trouble. And remember, this is my diary. I don't want it to go just like that. Yeah, I hold an emotional attachment to it, because it tells my story. It tells my, yeah. Okay, that is a song that as I was coming here was now ringing my bell. If you believe you can move the highest mountains, if you believe you can cross the greatest ocean, wakina Atlantic, wakina Indian Ocean, wakina Pacific Ocean, you can, if you only have faith. Yeah, faith that now I have seen it work for me. You see, I was talking about getting a partner. I need a partner that really we connect 100%, and I have been talking about this for the past, was it yesterday or even the day before yesterday? Yeah, yeah, it was on Saturday. I concluded this is the right person for me, because exactly what I saw in my vision is what exactly she is displaying. Someone who knows something about computers. I wish I could tell that story, but I think one day I will describe this. What I paint, okay, what I thought I was painting, forgetting that this was that it was a vision from my divine world. That means it was from God. God was trying. Okay, I was making the picture. I was trying to picture. However, I didn't know that all this was. I was seeing into the future. To my mind, yeah, I'm creating it. However, I don't know that it is connected. You see, everything that is always in my mind is always connected to the divine world. Even I realized that this is something that is very innate, and is something that is very visionary. That, oh my goodness, there is something that is special about my thoughts, my imaginations, especially when I engage the superconscious mind, the creative and visionary and imaginary mind. It tells me more about what will happen in the future. Just don't take lightly what you see in your imagination. I'm talking to myself, please. Okay? Never take that lightly. You see something that you want, you desire, your heart desires. Put it Just take your time and create the best picture you can, because that will be your future. If you see yourself, if you see Micro Harris being a, not if Micro Harris is going to be a big company, it will be offering organic foods. It is offering organic foods and organic viable food products to people, so that the rate of this lifestyle diseases, it is actually solving a problem that people are facing right now. Organic food and even lifestyle diseases, it is going to solve a lot. Yeah, people are going to know about this brand Micro Harris. You being the leader, you are going to show trust. You are going to show. I read a video. Not I read the video. Now, before I come to Micro Harris, now the wind is now coming from this place. Let me sit in this manner. Now let me talk about this. I have been. Now, as I was coming here, also another song came into my mind. It is a song by by Sarah K, yeah. Lipilo yeye asilo liweza, kwani ni jambo lipi hilo yeye asilo liweza, ni jambo. I just hope that I will not receive a copyright strike, but a copyright strike is better than a censorship strike. Lipilo yeye asilo liweza. Yeah, so you've got to believe. So nothing, it is translating to, that is Kiswahili to English. Nothing is impossible with God. And I can affirm that. I can strongly agree that is 100+1% true. Now, let's look at the life of Abraham. Oh, should I finish from? Okay, Micro Harris will come back later, but right now let me focus on Abraham. Now, the other day, was it the other week? Yeah, I was focusing on the life of Abraham. Abraham was this guy who was living in Ur, I think. Abraham is this guy who is okay. He's actually a kind guy, a kind and generous guy. He's kind of a person who is living just a righteous life. There are people who are very specific. You know that you just can't. You respect them for they respect themselves. Okay. Now, as I talk about Abraham, we have his wife Sarah. On the side, he's in under his roof. Okay, under his roof, and which I came to know later is that Sarah was actually as a relative. Okay, not, should I say a cousin? I think so. Basically, okay, the instances where the Abraham was talking, okay, not went to Egypt and lied that Abraham is Sarah's sister. Okay, wait. Sarah is Abraham's sister, and Sarah is, okay, Abraham is Sarah's brother. Okay, by then they were called Sarai. But you get the point. They were sisters. And it was actually biologically very true. Okay, could be could be verified. Could be verified. They were sisters and brothers because they were actually somehow cousins, and they married each other. So they were not wrong when they are saying that it is their brothers and sisters. Although, and by the way, do you know that even Abraham, as I was following up the story, I realized that Abraham wanted his son to also marry in the same family that he had generated. Is it a, I'm executing English. He had generated, like Genesis, his family Genesis. He wanted his son, is it Isaac? Yeah, Isaac, to marry from the same family, because he didn't want to his son to marry from other communities. The reason, I don't know. I don't know. Abraham had his own reasons. I think he believed that there will be a mix-up of culture, and that's how it happened. Now Israel is as a result of, although you can't blame this, we only can hear, not judge. I can only hear, I can only learn, but not judge. So Israel is as a result of, but not completely, because I don't know, but this is my thoughts about Israel, or even should I say the generation after Abraham. All that generation in that line was as a result of marrying each other in it's like inbreeding, what we call in science inbreeding. But I have a reason to believe also, as much as they were practicing in, okay, not practice, yeah, I think practicing inbreeding, it was I think God did something to that line so that it could not bring forth any complications. Like there was no matchup of DNA, because logically that doesn't make sense. Inbreeding will result to other, okay, but as much as it brings that, analyzing other communities in Kenya, could it have the same effect? Because Kisis have had their sub-tribes from the beginning, like you are following up their stories from the beginning. They had a very now look at the Maasai. Maasai had, I don't know their story, but I'm trying to analyze the first people, like the first people to ever exist as Maasais. I believe there were few, and so they practiced intermarriage in between them. That is some sort of inbreeding. Okay, but why didn't that bring some complications, such as, there are complications such for inbreeding, like body deformations. You see, the bodies are weak in a way. Okay, I've said in a way. So I believe nature has a way of controlling that. Yeah, nature has a way. I'm not decisively. I don't have any intentions when I'm saying this, but I'm trying to ask questions. Could it be possible that nature controls the DNA that we have, such that inbreeding will not have any effect on us? Now I'm as a for me, I'm as a result of two tribes in Kenya. So if I was from one, that could mean, anyway. I think nature has a way of balancing itself. That's the conclusion that I have to make. Now back to the story. Let me just go back to I deviated. Now, Abraham is told by God, move from this land called Ur and go to this unknown land that I'm going to show you. This, as a respectful man, he knew that this is God talking. Okay? You should be very careful when listening to God. God's voice is very persistent. He'll show you that I really mean this. Move from this land. And Abraham was very obedient. He said, okay, fine. I don't know what is on the other side of the land, but this is God. He knows what is best for me. So I therefore will tell my wife to gather her belongings, and we will set up for a journey. We will start our journey together with my nephew. My nephew Lot. I'm going to move with them to that land that I don't know what is there. I don't know what I'm going to encounter. I don't know how. I don't know. Now Abraham was in this state of, okay, I don't know. I just don't know. However, I'm trusting this God that has told me to move out of this place, because I know he has a way. Now, as Abraham was moving, no, he's just blindly. Now, to the logical mind, to now a human perspective, when you look at him, he's moving blindly, but he has this total trust and total faith in God. Now, in the middle of the journey, I don't know what happened. They went to Egypt. And that's where he said that, okay, we are going to, okay, there was famine, I think. There was famine in this land that were, in this part of the land they were in. Now, they went to Egypt, running away from the Nini. They knew Egypt had a lot of food. Oh, they had settled on another land, by the way. They had settled on another. I'm speaking fast. I need to reduce the pace. So goes to, okay, this land, I just can't remember the name, but they had a very hard famine. So they decided, you know what, we are not just going to stay here. We are going to Egypt. Egypt is part of Africa. Africa is known to be a very fertile land, and where food is in plenty. I'm in Africa right now, and I'm proud of it, and I'm an African and a descendant of Abraham. Okay, now Abraham, was it? Okay, by this point, I just can't recall the events that happened. Is it before they were? No. By this time, he was called Abram. Abram goes to Egypt. Okay. While he's approaching Egypt, he's well invited. However, before he's invited, he tells his wife, please, if they ask you, you are my sister. And, oh, you are my brother. And if I ask me, I'm going to say that I'm your sister. So that, because if I say that I'm your wife and I say that I'm your husband, they are going to kill me so that they can get you. Okay? After that, I don't know what happened. I think he said, by the way, Abraham said this 2 times. In Egypt and in another land, I just can't remember where it is, but yeah, he said this, sister, brother, okay, so that you don't get killed. Yeah, so something happened. I don't know what happened, by the way, but I think the king, is it Pharaoh or I don't know, I just can't remember, the leader of that I think he was Pharaoh, but I just can't tell for sure. I just can't recall the events or even the people that were. As I was following up the story, the guy was like, okay, something has happened. By the something happened, and the king was like, no, 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 no. He's not a brother or his wife. Oh, he's not. They are not brothers and these sisters. And the king even offered some I don't know, some gold and even some silver. I don't know, for whatever reasons. So as I explain this piece, I'll be missing a lot of details, important details, but they are not relevant compared to what I'm talking about. So Abraham was given a lot of cattle. Now the cattle that he had, now it was added, more was added to him. Now after that, after they picked the nini, they were told, okay, go. Maybe I don't want you to in this place because you are only bringing a lot. I think something happened. Is it a miracle or something just happened? Now from this point, or even from this, I don't know why my ear is aching from the bass. So he moves to this land, and no, maybe he might have missed. He might have gone to another land. So he went to another land and also lied to the same king of, is it Amorites or even, I'm not sure about this. But he went to another place and lied in the same way that Sarah is his sister. A dream happened. Now that king had a very strange dream. God told this king, this. Now the king was admiring Sarah's wife, Abraham's wife, and in that regard he really wanted to pursue or even to get her. But anytime he wanted to get her, she refused. Some things just happened divinely that stopped this king from or even sleeping with this Sarah, that is Nani's wife, Abraham's wife. So the king receives the bad dream that was warning him that this Sarah is Abraham's wife. Okay. Now the next morning he asked Abraham, honestly, you told me that this is your wife. And Abraham was like, yeah, it's true, we are sisters. And that's where I got the confirmation that they were actually sisters. Okay, not to say sisters, but they were kind of cousins. I don't know. I'm tired now. That was Abraham's nanny, yeah, and all sorts of many explanations from that point. Now, Abraham went ahead to explain the whole concept and why they were sisters and brothers, but the king wasn't fully convinced that they were sisters. He believed now, okay, this is a husband and wife, and God has talked to me and God has told me that, okay, really, I should not touch you. So he even offered some wealth so that he can chase them away. Yeah, he can chase away. Maybe I don't want you here because they are only bringing problems. Now I think in Egypt he brought a plague. I think so. He brought some plagues, and yeah. So there are doves that are have just arrived on this tree. Only that I can't focus on them. I think this camera is a bit. I need to get a good camera, but it's good. I think it's having its purpose right now. So basically, that is what happens. So after that, Abraham moves to another land, and now let me just now jump to the final part of the story. He comes to Canaan. I think it reached a point now they had no they had so many cattle and even livestock that now there are two families in this setup, or even in this setup, Lot and Abraham's. Now each had their own belongings, including cattle and whatever. Now having cattle, you see, when you are grazing and you have some distinction, or even not distinction, but you are separate. It reaches a point now, as much as you are family, you really have to have boundaries. Now the two families started to fight over grazing land. Like, you are grazing on the land, but these two livestock belong to two families. So the grazers, that is the shepherds, start to fight, and Abraham was like, no, we just can't continue like this. So let's do this. Let's come up on a solution and a decision that has a good solution for that will benefit, that will suit, not that will suit, but will be fair for the two of us. So the guy, Abraham was like, no. Abraham was like, nope, you're not going to live like this. We are going to live in peace and harmony. So let's do this. You go to the land on the, is it on the north? I just can't remember the details, but that's the point. You go live in that point. You go live in the west, and I'm going to live in the north. I don't know. I'm not sure about the details, but that's what they what do you call when you make a decision when both parties agree, have agreed on the terms and conditions? Is it okay? Let me. Yeah, the two of them agree on that, and each went on their separate ways. And Abraham went to this hilly part. I think it is in Canaan, and that's where he was blessed. And from that point, his he multiplied, and he had a lot of wealth. Lot went to that nini, and now analyzing the whole story in just a few minutes. Abraham had moved from this land of Ur, to the land of Canaan, knowing very well that there's no physical validation that I'm going to get this. However, this is God who has said. So the word of God is truth. The word of God is true. Okay, let me put it that way. It is true because his promises, he keeps them. He operated on that. He operated on that faith. That is why he was termed as father of faith. Yeah, father of faith. That's where he got that name. But you see, analyzing his whole life, you realize that there's something special about if you are a righteous person and you have total faith in your God, you'll be able to move mountains. And look at now, and I think I was asking the same question in one of the diaries that I did long ago. I think it was on June or July. Why is Israel so blessed in that manner? Whereas they are just people like us. They are just normal people like us. Why did God specifically choose Israel? It's because Abraham was very faithful. He was a righteous man. Huh? He did everything right according to what God needed from him, and what was needed from him. Look at this current world. Look at this current world that we are living in. To get a righteous person who is like Abraham is actually very difficult. Question is, are you righteous to that extent where you're almost similar to Abraham? It's a it's a it's a cross that has been in my mind for these few days. Why can't you just be someone who is righteous, someone who pursues righteousness in all his endeavors, in all his pursuit? I remember as I was following up this. Okay, let me just. As I was following up this story of Abraham, I realized one thing. Abraham didn't believe in free things. He believed in getting them for a price so that it is his. Yeah, it is his. The only free things that you can get are from. Although you won't get them for free, you won't get them for free because that's the law. That's how nature works. You just can't get anything or even anything. Yeah, anything for free. Now Sarah died. Okay, and I learned that Abraham married another wife and they had children. So Abraham had a lot of wives. He slept with 3 women and had many children. Not only Isaac, he had other children with a wife now that he later had after Sarah died. I think Sarah died with 140 or even 127. I don't know. 127 years. So what now when he was now burying Sarah after her death, Abraham looked for a tomb, like a kaburi, like a tomb. Tomb. Is it tomb or tomb? I hope my voice is clear. So, as he was looking for tomb in this strange, foreign land that belonged to someone else, they tried to offer the land in for free, but Abraham refused. He said, "No, we are not going to get this for free because I want this to be rightfully mine." I think he understood the concept of divine world. Everything must be yours in the divine world because the land belonged to another. Because now that meant that someone could claim the land. Remember, Sarah was the me, so he really wanted that land for himself, so that no one could claim that land forever. It is his and his alone. Now when you come now, you'll now get him. Yeah. But they offered multiple times to give this Abraham this land for free. Kabisa, by they were convinced that this is a righteous man. And you know, you've got to respect the person who respects himself. And you to get that respect, realize that you really need to work on yourself. You need to sell that image that I really value myself. And the reason why, no, not the reason. You see, Abraham approached everything approached the things in life with the right mindset, with the right pursuit of righteousness. He understood what wealth for him meant. So I should strive to be like Abraham. Abraham was this guy who was very faithful. He had total faith to God. He had total trust in God in whatever that in all his endeavors. And it is through that God loved Israel. It's because the guy was just faithful, and as a product of his faithfulness and his trust in God, God blessed him abundantly. God blessed this man abundantly and very many ways. He had very many descendants as he promised him. You see, it reaches a point where even God makes a promise to you, like a man. You are a man and God gives you a promise. And not only a promise, that He'll give you wealth, He'll give you wealth, many kids, many descendants, yeah, many grandkids, many grandkids, many, like many. Look at the Israelites now; they are just blessed by God because of one man who showed his faith, his total faith to God. Yeah, look at Israel right now. It's the one that is supporting Israel. Were it not for Israel, USA could not be the power what. That's that country that is powerful in the whole world. It's actually not possible. Without Israel, some things would just be the religion that is there right now could not be there. We just could be living this. But because there was this man who was very righteous in all his ways, God also saw him better to give this promise, and he delivered. Right now, he still continued to deliver. That could mean that as a result of you living this life, you could be also having an impact in your future generations. Just because you are righteous, God will bless your descendants. God will bless my daughters and even my sons. God will bless abundantly. Not just blessing abundantly, and in all honesty, prosperity flows through them. Prosperity is not, it's just a nature of them. Yeah, that's how it works. And it's true to say that now when you seek again God's kingdom, and that is righteousness, now you are going to believe now the treasures of heaven are going to find you wherever you go. In your bloodline, God will bless them because of you, because you had total faith, you had total trust in God. God only in Psalms, is it Psalms chapter, is it 18 or even 20? I'm not sure. I'm not so used to keeping records of Bible verses, but I read yesterday that God is my shepherd, and I truly believe that God is my shepherd. It's like I am the sheep. So you only need to trust Him to lead you to the right pastures. He'll also take you to the waters, and you'll have a drink of your life. The thirst will be gone. You only need to trust Him. He is the shepherd. He knows the areas. Yeah? You only need to submit to God's you need to submit to God and surrender your lives to God, and not only you're not only surrendering blindly, you're also giving his your wish to him. You know, it works there in a way. It has a format. You submit, you surrender, and after surrendering, now you give your will to the God. You give your God your desires. I desire to have a family in well, I'm 22. Right now I'm 21. I want to have already a family, a happy family. By that time, by the time I'm reaching 23, I'm already a father. I'm raising a kid. Yeah, I'm taking care of my family. I am able. I'm able to provide for my family. We are eating healthy. Yeah, we have a business, a stable business. Yeah, you've got to believe. You have got to put out that wish. I need to be happy. I need to have a life that is worth living, that I am happy about, that is blessed, that is favored, that has blessings. You see, you have got to put all that as a request and one of your prayers. As long as I believe, and I believe that God will give me all these things that I require, my heart is desiring. I am with the right partner. I've gotten the right partner and I've actually received the sign. I'm grateful to God that I have received all these things through Christ who strengthens me. May his name be praised. I praise his name. And I also adore the Lord God who created me, because he didn't just put me on this earth so that I can stay like that. He gave me a purpose. And he created for me the destiny. Yeah? He designed for me my destiny. The destiny which I'm going to achieve with my the tools that he gave me. He gave me a special ability, and I believe it's something to do with forex. Yeah, if you just follow the right path, when you're trusting and have total faith in God, things will just happen to you automatically. Like, you'll just be receiving things. Wow. Just because you believe in God, you have faith in God. Yeah, and you are doing the right things. You are a good person. Yeah, things will be finding you. Look at Abraham. He went to a foreign land, and he receives cattle, and he added it to his wealth. You see, God will bless you even in strange lands, or even foreign lands. God is with you. He'll bless you wherever you are, because you have stayed true to him. Therefore, he will return back by staying true to you also, and you'll enjoy his abundance, his blessings. The treasures from heaven will just come to you. Will come to earth, will be sent to earth, to you, specifically you, so that you can enjoy all that. You see, you have got to put yourself right. Yesterday, okay, is it today? I was reading about Jesus, and I got the answer that I was seeking for yesterday. I was asking, okay, I had a question only that I didn't ask of it. I faintly asked for it in my meditation in my mind. What is this kingdom of God? Jesus gave a perfect scenario in Matthew 22. God's kingdom is like this. A king is calling for people to come to his ceremony. Is it wedding ceremony? He has gingered the fattest cattle in his herd, and he's now calling people. He has sent invitations to people to come to his wedding. It's like, yeah, come to my wedding. I have slaughtered some near. Every good meal that is you can think of is here. Now people receive the invitations, and they say that, okay, I'm coming, and they come. Some don't come, they go to their businesses, and they're like, the king is calling you and you are refusing. Okay, Nizawa. Now he sent some his servants, so that he can. Okay, you know what? They have refused. The people that I chose to come and to this feast, they have refused. Now go to the streets. The servants are now sent out to the streets to ask people to come to their wedding, to this feast or even wedding feast. And now the feast ends up to be full. The feast ends up to be filled with people, and not the people that were intended for, but you see, the king ordered that. Now the king, after noting that there are many people, he looks at this, he comes across this man who had not worn the proper clothes for the ceremony. He's like, yo, servants, remove this guy from this place. And he's like, wow. Now, because he had not worn the proper clothes to go to a wedding, he's sent out of his feast. He's thrown out. What has that got to tell you? You have to be prepared to be in God's kingdom. Yeah, you have to be righteous. By the way, you interpret that as righteous. I interpreted that as righteous. You have got to be righteous when you are seeking God, when you are in God's kingdom. The proper clothes mean that you have to be, be prepared, man. Now the other servants that were sent to bring in the other people, the people on the streets were killed in the process. What does that translate to? The prophets, the men of God, when they were preaching or even when they were spreading the news of people should come to this kingdom of God, they were killed. They didn't want to hear that this king had a feast. Although Jesus was speaking in parables, but basically that's what he meant. They were killing the prophets of God. Yeah. Now the servants. You get the point. You see, that is what happened. So God's kingdom is just being righteous. That's how we simply translate it. You've got to be righteous in everything that you do, in every endeavor that you, in every business that you do. Don't make it shady. Do it the right way. Do it the proper way. That even God, if he sees this, he say, okay, fine. Yeah. Everything that you do, just make sure that it is morally right. You are morally right. You are doing the right things. You are a good leader. Yeah? And all these things were showcased by Jesus. You've got to be a leader. You have got to be right. You have got to do things the right way. If it is taxes, pay the taxes. Don't try run away from them. I think I read the whole chapter. The Pharisees were tempting him with questions. They asked him, what is this? Is it rightful to give money to Caesar, or even to pay taxes? He said, what is drawn? Whose picture is on this money that is on these coins and even these notes? I believe it was coins. They say that it was Caesar. He told him, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what is belongs to God. I think he meant tithes and even being righteous. Only that he was talking in parables. For you to unravel that, you have got to be open-minded to see the context that he was talking about. Although he was talking about me, but the Bible is just a reflection. As Mankush puts it, the Bible is just a manual to living on this earth. If you want a good manual to living on this earth, you've got to read the Bible. And again, it's another manual for revealing what is expected from you from God. But what is expected from you by God, and it paints a picture of what the kingdom of God is like. You only need to be righteous and doing the right things that please God, and submit to Him alone. Because if you see all His creation, now He's the one who created all these things that we see in the physical world. Look at this grass. Look at myself. Just a product of His creation work. He created me using this soil that I'm lying on. Yeah. So He's the only one. He's my source. He's the one who is going to provide for me. He's going to be he's the one who is going to protect me from all sorts of evil. He's the one who is going to, literally, God is just what we need, what I need, because He's the shepherd. He's going to look over after me. If I go, you shall never wander off. Yeah, I was reading Psalms yesterday, and yeah, I was talking about God is my shepherd. I shall never want. You should never go away from God in an unrightful way, because now that is attracting more. You're just attracting more. Is it not fate? But you're just attracting more. I don't have words to put this in the right manner, but you see, He is all what we have. Without Him, everything and even anything is possible. So back to Micro Harris. All these things are possible if you believe in God. Micro Harris will have a big farm, an organic farm with cattle, with hen, goats, bulls. It's going to be selling kefir in large quantities. Very possible. You have just got to make your things right first, and then all your endeavors, all your doings will be A1, perfect, will be running smoothly, and all sorts of that. All sorts of beliefs are going to work for you. You see, right now I'm not interested in school. I have other desires. So if I pursue that in hope, not in hope, but in total faith, God is working miracles for me. God is working marvelous and great things for me. That's what right now I'm focusing on. You've got to believe. You've got to have total faith. Submit to God, and everything will go. There are people who don't struggle to get wealth, or even don't struggle to get money on this earth. That's the secret. Seek God's kingdom, and everything will come to you. I have this diary here. On that note, I didn't want to talk about other things, but I don't have yes, I don't know where I'll upload this. Okay, I think I'll return online today I've been offline for one or and yesterday, and I said that I went offline on Saturday night. Said that okay, let me just log off this internet. Let me log off this social media. Today I'm not posting. I'll post it. I'll post tomorrow. I'm still doing the shadow work. What I've been fearing is what I'm now facing. Now to get rid of those fears, and yeah, the shadow work is actually a bit of work. You have to surrender. You have to work on yourself, properly work on yourself. To this level that you have reached, I'm convinced that now I can now make big moves. Yeah, I was reading a book yesterday. It was by this man. I just can't remember his name, but he's a man. I'm reading right now. I'm reading this book called Life Skills. I'm on this part of storytelling, and let me tell you, it had a very big impact. Oh my goodness! Nowadays, I can just do 1 hour comfortably. I noted that yesterday was about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Wow, this is amazing, and I can just talk for 1 hour non-stop. Okay, so I read this chapter of the book that is talking about storytelling, and now my perspective changed. Now, let me talk about a specific video that I posted on Microhead's TikTok page. I was talking about how the food that we eat can have effects on our emotions, our mood, and everything. So I gave a story of Miss Evie. Miss Evie was this, after unfortunately she lost her husband, and in her work this has affected them. Affected her to an extent where she now started feeding on this junk food. Now this junk food started to have effects on her health, her moods. She was this wary. She was known to have this temperamental emotions. She was very temperamental. Now, her boss noted this and recommended her to go to a nutritionist. Now, she incorporated more proteins and vegetables in her diet and reduced the carbohydrates by a big percentage, maybe 70%. Now, the other part of the food increased, vegetables and proteins. And after 2 or 3 weeks, something changed. She was this vibrant. She was joy. She had this happiness. So that's consequentially affected her workplace and even her interactions. By the way, whenever you are posting on TikTok, like now, that's one of the content videos that I did. Now, I posted later. I started posting later frequently, and I noted that after posting, usually this is how TikTok works. After you post a video, you get immediately after posting the video, the app refreshes in a way and takes you to the posts posted by who you are following or the people that are following you. It automatically brings you the videos from their feed. And now on this specific day, how my algorithm treats Microhead's, it always brings this video up. And severally I've noted this. I'm like, you guys cannot change this, Nini. Little did I know that. Kumbe it was an answer that was being given to me for a question that I've been asking myself for the longest time. I was like, how can I make Microheadis better? How can I make a brand, a big, strong brand from this Microheadis? Because really explaining health in a way that is straightforward, that you eat this and people will not listen. Things now after reading, but they didn't occur to me that I need to change my strategy in that manner. This video kept on coming every time that I've posted it. Miss Evie, Nini, I was like, can't you change the Nini? Now, yesterday I got the answers. After reading this chapter of storytelling, I'm like, storytelling is like, there's the right part of the brain. The right part is very logic, and the left part is very a bit, okay, how should I say this? It's a bit, it's impressed by stories, by new things that are not logical. Okay, logical and non-logical. Yeah, the two. Now, most of the time, whenever you're doing things, you find that the non-logical nini is the one that is the elephant in the, that always impresses you. Look at movies. They are just an impression. What is most of the time that most of the experience that we have in life only impress the non-logical. And the non-logical, the concept, no, not the concept, how it works, the effect that it has on people is that many people don't relate with logical things and they are tired. They don't want to listen. I was like, by this, I can turn my Microheadis to be storytelling narrative so that it can push a product. Now, the author explained a story. I have, now someone tested an item. He said, okay, I've tried with this item to sell in a logical perspective, telling them, this is what you should do, this is what you should have, this is what the product will offer you. People are like, okay. You're engaging the logical, it will just get tired very fast. However, he decided, let me approach this in another angle. Let me find storytellers so that they can attach a feeling to this product, and then we'll sell them on eBay. Boy, oh boy. After the stories were created and they were created and they were given an emotional attachment on it. Tell me why the same product that was selling at 100% crushed the beliefs, the impossibilities. The product sold for 2,500% of the initial price because the emotions were attached to the nini, and it's because the human mind can only relate with the non-logical, and that's where you get the impression. So that will mean that I actually didn't finish reading the story. I've actually woken up to finish up the part of the chapter so that I can have. See, reading to me is actually a habit that I've developed over time. Reading is important. It exposes you, it gives you knowledge that you just can't get anywhere else. If you look, books will offer you knowledge from people who are so experienced that you won't get from any books. Books are very important, by the way. If you want to be wise, please read books. If you want to be exposed, read books. If you want to have a creative mind, please read books. I think this will go for about 1 hour and 10 minutes. So that has got to tell you that now I'm going to strategize. I have a few days to the end of the year, so and it's very possible to do whatever I'm planning. Start storytelling what people didn't expect. Because now is going now. I'm doing recipes right now. I'm not going to be telling stories through. I don't know how I'm going to approach it, but you see, I've dedicated my thoughts and even what I'm thinking to God, so He'll guide me to what. And also learning. You should, as much as you expect blessings from God, you should put some effort towards achieving what you want. So figure out how we are going to be telling stories. Right now I'm on recipe number 8 ever since I started. So recipe number 8 means after 8 I'll be telling stories while doing the recipes. People are going to be listening. I'm gonna find the captivating stories. See, I have AI. I don't need to think much. I have AI. I only need to attach the feeling, the emotional feeling of the need to buy kefir from Micro Harris. That's how you're gonna establish a big brand from that. Tell people stories while you are giving them the recipe. I have all the knowledge that I need. The AI, I know how to attach the voices. I know how to write the scripts. So that I'm going to change the strategy. And even for what? Max's Grupo. I'm gonna tell a story that is going to sell an emotional feeling of luxury, importance through a bird. Maxi, okay, other brands have a story. They started in 1960 where the car started. Yeah, the car started where the car was started by this person. See, Louis Vuitton has a story. Gucci has a story. They have a story, but now I want this to be different. People can relate with luxury in another form. With a bird. With a bird that was in this Antarctic ocean, or I don't know, the north part of the ocean. Yeah, I'm just going to create a compelling story. I've not yet figured out how I'm going to sell the nini. However, I'm going to decide on the plot. The story, I don't know. I'm creative, so I need to figure out how best I can narrate this story. I'll just be telling stories, and through that I'll be achieving what do you call this? Yeah, I'm going to figure out. I'm going to be selling. I'm going to be Max's Group right now is focusing on affiliate marketing, but I have to attach a feeling behind this. I'm going to be selling a luxury things. That's my focus. For Maxipie, I don't know. Storytelling. I'm still for that I need to. I don't know, man. I don't know. Being a CEO for 3 companies calls for hard work. But I think I'm gonna focus on two this year. By the time I'm reaching next year, I'll have people now. I'll have developed. I'll have called a brand following, a large following that is loyal to the brands that I'm running. Okay. Yeah, I was actually wondering, this storytelling chapter now opened a new whole world of concept to me. I was like, by the way, I've been having a challenge approaching people or even networking with people. I think something came into my mind. I was like, hey, Why can't I just approach people and start telling them stories? See, that could leave an impact that people will not forget who I am, our interaction, because I've told a story. Remember, the story captivates or even attracts someone's attention. If I practice this, you'll be able to network. I don't have that flirting ability. I really don't, and I just can't just struggle to get to. It's really not my thing. It's not in me. Flirting or even, yeah, flirting especially. Don't have that flirting ability. I'm not a comedian. I just can't make jokes. Why can't I tell stories? And not that I don't have the ability. I have. I only need to put in effort. I only need to put some effort to be telling people stories. Capture the eyeballs with stories. Is that so hard to get? Nope. Stories are going to make you brands. Strong brands that are going to relate with you. Remember that. So I've gotten the answer to the question that I've been seeking for the longest time. How can I relate with people so that they can remember me? Like, we meet today, you will remember for me for the next one year. If you approach me, if you meet again, you remember that this guy told me another story, and I related to it so much. I related to it. That's how we got. That is how we got to know each other. They can't forget because, yeah, I've seen the impact of storytelling, and now I need to put in effort so that I can be a good storyteller. We all are storytellers. All human beings are storytellers. Now, the level of art that you treat with it is what's going to make the difference. Yeah, it's now 1 hour 12 minutes. This seems that I'm being. It's like, and I'm going to be practicing storytelling using this platform that I have. I think how I speak so plainly that if someone can come and watch this video, they won't be impressed as much, and actually they won't follow the whatever I'm saying. It's because nothing is captivating, nothing is out of the ordinary. So we've got to make your story out of the ordinary. You've got to make your speech out of the ordinary. So that means I have to invest more on storytelling art. I'm also thinking of. I noted actually that my Facebook wall has been declining in engagement. I was like, now I need to change the strategy. I'm no longer going to do things I used to do them, expecting and the things will be different. I'll now be telling stories. Thank God I'm creative. So number one is not for being creative. And remember number 5. I'm also number 5. So that means I can explore a couple of options. Now how I'm going to be telling the stories is going to be different for each one of them. For my wall, or even for my brand myself. For my brand, for what else? For Micro Harris, for Maxis Grupo, and MaxPy. I don't know. By the way, MaxPy, I have tried telling stories through them. When I was making GitHub, I was like, let me make this a story. Actually, 2. There were 2 actually. To explain the concepts of Git. I remember very well I did that. So right now, I think I have a different mindset on how to create a strong brand. Just tell stories. That's it. And while telling stories, please attach emotional feelings to the stories. That's how you'll be able to sell a commodity from 100% to 200, to 2,000, even 3,000%. A product could be selling right now $6,000. If we attach an emotional feeling towards that, I can even sell it for, If only I just learn the art of is it not lying but creating another is it a deception? Okay, creating another, selling another idea. You can even sell it for even 5,000 $50,000. Someone will be willing to buy that from you because someone has that ability, or not has that ability, but they have that, they have believed in your story. It's so captivating that money will not be now counted as a thing. You see, storytelling, now investing in storytelling, but that will be now my different route. I'm taking a different route. I noticed that there's no much change and whenever you're telling someone a story, they'll always listen. I think how I'm going to interact with people from now on is through stories. Just be a good storyteller. You'll catch the eyeballs, bro. You will catch the eyebrows. And by the things that happened yesterday, before I read that book, I was scrolling through my files, the videos in my files. I was like, I came across this. Okay, I usually save the videos that I really need to come back later and see, because whenever watching TikTok and the videos are long, I was like, I don't have this time. I don't have this time. I don't have this time to watch this video. I don't have that time. So it's like, let me save this video and I'll watch it later. I don't have the internet. There are times when I don't have internet, so I'll go through these videos and see what is there, what is what was being talked about. I don't know how I tapped into this video and started watching this. And whenever you are speaking to people, I think this will go for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, listen, I think my storage is complete. Let me end this diary here. Remember, if it can be shaken, it can be moved. Until tomorrow, adios. Invest in storytelling, okay? Good.